Good afternoon, friends. Ranganathan again here with you to talk to you on the Japanese and the sports part B today. Maybe we'll also have a part C also because this particular theme is very long theme, a lot of activities. Good afternoon, friends. We may have to do one more again here next with week you also. To talk to you on the interesting information Japanese is there in this particular area. Part B today. Now, maybe we'll also have. You may be wondering what is this C also thing? Because this is from Osaka. Osaka in 2000 particular theme is very long theme. A lot of activities. Good afternoon, friends. We may have to do one more again here next with week you also. To talk to you on the interesting information Japanese is there in this particular area. Part B today. Now, maybe we'll also have. You may be wondering what is this C also thing? Because this is from Osaka. Osaka in 2000 particular theme is very long theme. A lot of activities. Good afternoon, friends. We may have to do one more again here next with week you also. To talk to you on the interesting information Japanese is there in this particular area. Part B today. Now, maybe we'll also. This is from Osaka. Osaka in 2000 particular theme is very long theme. A lot of activities. Good afternoon, friends. Now we may have to do one more again here next with week you also. To talk under the instruction of American teacher Horace Wilson, almost around 1880. The first Japanese baseball team was organized by the Shimbashi Athletic Club, and several college teams were formed in that area of Tokyo. During the period 1890 to 1902, a team from the first higher school in Tokyo and often defeated this particular school team, often defeated a team of people formed by the American residents in Yokohama. The publicity of this particular winning by the school team, this game, shaped to make the baseball one of the most popular Western sports in Japan. Baseball is called as Yaku in Japan. Now, the National High School Baseball in Japan is commonly known as Summer Koshien, is the annual nationwide high school baseball tournament. It is the largest scale amateur sport event in Japan. The tournament, organized by the Japan High School Baseball Federation and Asahi Shimbun, a newspaper, Asahi newspaper, takes place during the summer school vacation period, culminating in a 2-week final tournament stage with 49 teams in August at Honshin Koishin Stadium in the Koishin district, that is Nishinomiya City in Hyogo, Japan. That's how the high school baseball tournament is shaped up. Then we have the 24th National Athletic Meet in 1967. There are at least 10 different varieties of rugby, and especially like what I said, they have been having almost the National Athletic Meet or the championship thing going on up to 22 stamp has still not come because this normally takes place in the month of August or September. So up to 2021 you got, that means how many times they have played this. The best of best people are getting noticed here, picked up here. They go play for the nation. This is a great, like our cricket, the people play at different stages to get into the national team. So this is one thing, that 1969 was the 24th National Athletic Meet. But in every athletic meet, they don't show all the events by sports. Symbolically, they pick up any one sport in one event and then they put a stamp. Now, there are at least 10 different variations of rugby played across the world. They differ in both rules and number of players and substitutes of a team. Japan National Rugby Union team, often known as the Cherry Blossom Sakura and more recently the Brave Blossoms, is traditionally the strongest rugby union power in Asia and has enjoyed and endured mixed results against non-Asian teams over the last years. A rugby union in Japan is administered by the Japan Rugby Union, JRFU, which was founded in 1926. They complete annually the Pacific Nations Cup, and that's a thing for which they all compete. And previously in the Asia Rugby Championship, they have also participated in every Rugby World Cup since the tournament began in 1987. You can see this stamp details are given here. This stamp was of 26 by 29.5 by 28.5 by 29 millimeters, and it's a multicolor stamp, and it was released on the October 26th. Normally, that's a period when we have the National Athletic Meet. It's a 15 yen Japanese stamp. Now, to look at 1970 athletic meet, there is a stamp which is on equestrian. There are 3 Olympic equestrian sports: dressage, 3-day evening, and show jumping. Our sports such as chariot and riding races were part of the early Olympic Games. Riding was first included in 1900 Olympics and reappeared in 1912. Originally in the modern Olympics, only commissioned officers were allowed to compete. Beginning 1952, the rules were changed to allow civilians and women, and Olympic equestrian events are one of the very few Olympic events where women compete equally with men. So look at this stamp again. They say it's 1970, October 10th. That's a period around which the National Athletic event is taking place. It's again 15-inch stamp, and wherever this event is taking place in different prefectures. So sometimes you see in the stamp a prefectural bird or a prefectural flower is also included to get a spirit of the prefecture into the stamp. Now, 1971 was the 26th National Athletic Meet. The Japan Tennis Association, JTA, in Japanese it's written there, is a governing body for professional amateur tennis in Japan. Founded in 1922 and recognized by the International Lawn Tennis Federation, now International Tennis Federation, in 1923, and it is one of the oldest organized sports organizations in Asia. Japan Tennis Association operates all of the Japanese national representative tennis sides, including the Japan Davis Cup team, the Japan Federation Cup team, and the Japan Hopman Cup team, and youth sides as well. JTA is also responsible for organizing, hosting tennis tournaments within Japan, and scheduling the home international fixtures. So that's a stamp and also a first day cover with the cancellation of the first day cancellation there. Then we have the national sports, one of the national native sports, Kendo. Okay, Kendo is called as the sword's way or sword's path or way of the sword, or any one of the ways can be translated into English. Is a modern Japanese martial art descended from Kenjutsu, one of the old Japanese martial arts, or what you call as the swordsmanship. And that was this particular Kendo uses bamboo swords called shinai, as well as protective armor called bogu. Today, it is widely practiced within Japan and has spread to many other nations across the world. Even there are a lot of people who practice Kendo in India. That's my place. Okay, the 7th National Athletic Meet in 1972, when we saw the Kendo stamp. Okay, this is released in 72. Kendo matches take place in area 9 to 12 matches, about 30 to 36 feet, 9 to 12 meters. I'm sorry, not matches, meters. 30 to 36 feet square. Contestants wear the traditional wagi, the jacket, and hakama, a long divided skirt, do, chest protector, tare, waist protector, men, mask, and kote, padded gloves. The shinai, the bamboo sword, varies from 43 to 46 inches or 110 to 112 centimeters in length. Is made of 4 lengths of seasoned bamboo bound by wax cord. All blowers use the cutting edge of the shinai, though it is not sharp. The shinai is usually held in both hands. Points are awarded for blows delivered upon the left side, right side, and top of the head, and the right or left wrist, the right or left side of the trunk, and for a thrust on the throat. These are only scoring areas. The name of the point struck must be called simultaneously by the attacker with his or her bow and is verified by the judges. When he gives a blow, he also says where he is going to do. The contest is won by the first combatant who scores 2 points. So that's Kendo. Now, 1973, the National Athletic Meet, you can see the stamp and you can definitely say it's a sprinting or the running event. It's a part of the athletic. It's a female sprinter who is running in that thing, ready to take off from the takeoff point. The sprinting is running over a short distance at the topmost speed of the body in a limited period of time. It is used in many sports that incorporate running, typically as a way of quickly reaching a target or goal, or avoiding or catching an opponent. Now, in other things, you may have to catch an opponent like the wrestling or something. Here, nothing like that. You just run. Okay. Way back, the American sprinter Carl Lewis, he was the first guy to do it below 10 seconds, 100 meters. After that, a lot of people tried to reach him, and I think few of them did reach. So Carl Lewis was asked, "What is the secret of your success? How is it you are able to run within 10 seconds?" He gave a very interesting thing, which is worth taking as an advice for life also. He says, "When I start, I only see the man in front of me. I don't see the tape. Then I overtake him. Then I see the next man in front of me. Then I overtake him. One by one, I only see one man in front of me at one time. I keep on overtaking. Finally, there'll be nobody between me and the tape, and I go and touch it with my breast." So that is my success. So if you want to win, every short-term winning is a must for you to reach a long-term winning. In athletics and track and field, sprints or the dashes or races over short distances. 3 sprints are currently held in the modern Summer Olympics on the Outdoor World Championship, that is 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400 meters. Now, all the professional level, sprinters begin the race by assuming a crouching position in the starting blocks before diving forward and gradually moving into an upright position as the race progresses and momentum is gained. Races up to 100 meters are largely focused upon acceleration to an athletic's maximum speed. All sprints beyond this distance is increasingly incorporate an element of endurance also along with speed. Sorry. Now, 1974, that's the 29th National Athletic Meet. Certain parts of the world would regard soccer and football as the same thing. But for others, they are two different things, like USA is one example. One of the main leagues in the US is the National Football League, commonly known as NFL. Major League Soccer, MLSL, is the league for the roundball game in the US. Whenever whoever decides to call NFL football must have gotten feet and hands mixed up together at that time, is what people say. They are two different things. Now, to totally answer that question, what is the difference between soccer and football? Truth is, there's not only a difference. Both words originated in Britain, where the game itself originated. To many people, in the same thing, but the Americans and Australians, it holds two different meanings. Now, if you see this stamp, shows a man playing with the football and that's in 1974. In Japan, what they call it a soccer or football. It's very popular. Youngsters all want to play because Japan has once reached almost the final of World Cup. Almost reached. The thing without making any big fuss or any big trouble, they left very quietly. That is what still people talk about when they talk about football. That's something that I just want to mention here. The 20th and 30th National Athletic Meet, 1974 and 75. And once we want to say, again, I want to mention, soccer is in the Olympics and it's an Olympic sport. Men's soccer has been a part of the Olympics since 1900, and women's soccer has been a part of the Olympics from 1996. The men's competition includes 32 games, and women's competition includes 26 games throughout the Olympic tournament. So both will have to fight at different levels and then come to the final. Now, 30th National Athletic Meet, 1975. You can see two stamps on the left-hand side. One, something written in Japanese, which is Mihon, which means sample or example. Or they make a sample before they make a final thing. And normally, if you get a Mihon stamp, a standard stamp, it's slightly a little more expensive than a normal stamp. This is a 10 yen stamp of weightlifting, which is released 1975, again October 25th, and it is 28 by 39 millimeters. Except for the first tournament, commemorative stamps were generally been issued for the Atom tournament. For the second and fifth tournament, 4 types of stamps were issued, and only the third tournament had the 5 types for the winter tournament as well. From the 6th and 21st tournament, there were 2 types of stamps issued, and ever since then, there has been 1 type of stamp released for each tournament. That's how they have spaced out issuing of the stamps for the tournaments. And the regions of in the regions, whichever prefecture the meet is being conducted, the railway company, there are private railways running there, along with the Japanese National Railway, Japanese, what they call as JR. The region railway company also issues commemorative items such as train tickets. So the thing becomes a big event. So these are the first day covers. If you can see, cycling is there, then sprinter is there, archer is there, and then gymnastics is there. All those things are there on the first day stamp. And also, if you see, there is pair stamps as well as the isolated single stamp is there. Now, this is a cycling. There are different types of cyclings in the competition. Modern off-road cycling began in the year as late as 1970 in Northern California. And today it serves as a popular form of both recreation and competition. Like other disciplines of cycling, mountain biking encompasses many different formats, including cross-country, short-track cross-country, ultra-endurance, downhill, dual slalom, and 4-cross, Super D, and observed trials. Cross-country XC is the only recognized discipline of mountain biking at the Olympic Games. This endurance-oriented event is a mass start competition, which typically features about 100 to 150 riders who compete over a rough terrain that includes everything from unpaved fire roads, technical single track filled with rocks, roots, nuts, and also sometimes it will also rain, pouring rain, whatever happens, they have to keep driving as a test of endurance. Then The cross-country XC mountain biking, the distance and number of laps should be contested will be determined based on the course conditions prior to the day of the competition. A typical elite level mountain bike race lasts approximately 2 hours and ranges from 20 to 28 miles for men and 16 to 22 miles for women. So that's a difference. These are all full sheet stamps, okay? And there are people who become really thrilled to have a full sheet stamp. So I collect a lot of full sheet stamps also. And this stamp, a full sheet has got, if you look at it, 20 stamps in one sheet. And whatever is the price of one stamp multiplied by 20 will be the price when you want to buy a stamp. So sometimes full sheet gets more attracted because the colors in the corners. Now, 33rd National Athletic Meet that happened in 1978 shows a stamp of softball. Softball at the Summer Olympics was the Olympic program from 1996 to 2008. It was introduced at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. Softball was removed from the program in 2012 and 2016, but was added to one-off appearance along with baseball for 2020 Summer Olympics, which was postponed to 2021 due to COVID-19 pandemic. You know the place where it was postponed, that is in Tokyo. That is the Tokyo Olympics. And Olympic softball is governed by World Baseball Softball Confederation, WBSC. On August 12, 2018, the first team to qualify for the 2020 Olympic was the United States. By winning the 2018 World Championship, Japan automatically qualifies for being the host country, as well as the 2018 World Championship runners-up. At the Olympics, Japan won the gold, the United States won the silver, and Canada won the bronze in that particular event. Now, this is again a sprint event. You can see. You can see the guy running, and you can see they may be running long distance runners. That's why you see a tree or something at the back. I don't know. And now we just say a sprinter. We talk about a sprinter. And on the stamp side, if you look at it, there are 4 stamps. They come as if you see 3 and 1, so 3 together. They're all used stamps posted on a cover, supposed to be a lot more valuable than a normal thing. So there is also a first day cancellation sprint stamp that you have. And normally the following athletics events feature before the national championship: sprint 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, middle distance 500 meters, 1500 meters, long distance 5000 and 10,000 meters, hurdles 100 meters, 110 meters hurdle, 400 meter hurdle, 3000 meter SC. Then jumps, you have long jump, triple jump, high jump, pole vault. Throws, shot put, discus throw, hammer throw, and javelin throw. They all come under the athletics. If you see, not only the sprinting, but the other events are also a part of the athletics in the sports. So the stamp that you see is the guy who's coming and then he's running. Now we have the baseball 50th National Intercity Non-Professional Baseball Championship Series, and the stamp is there. The stamp was released again for a thing earlier, 1979, July 27th. The stamp was released corresponding to the event that is fixed up. And then you have first day cover. Normally in Japan, when they sell the first day covers in the post office, they put an information card inside. So that gives you a lot of information. I've taken a copy of that information card, the Japanese side, and put it there. 50th Intercity Baseball Games, the National Intercity Non-Professional Baseball Game, first took place in summer 1927, suggested and promoted by the Mainichi Press. Since then, Those who belong to the social clubs, business organizations, or government agencies had baseball games every summer, except in 43-45. And in 1979, we have the 50th baseball game, in which 22 non-professional teams took part. Now, 1980, the 35th National Athletic Meet 1980. At the 1908 Summer Olympics, 3 archery events were held. Archery was not featured at the 1912 Summer Olympics, but reappeared in the 1920 Summer Olympics. Archery has been traditionally a Japanese game, and in the olden days, archers were a part of the Edo. They had the warring teams, so there were people who were very good archers. Even today, as a part of the Yabusame, the religious festival that they have, uh, archery, people sitting on top of a running horse and then shooting a target is one of the talent exhibited during the Yabusame. Now, between 1920 and 1972, archery was not contested in the Olympic Games. The sport featured on the programs of the Olympic Games in 1900, 1904, 08, 20 during the earlier era. It is also one of the first sports to feature women's events in 1904. The competition formats were inconsistent, often biased on local rules, and archery was subsequently dropped from the program. World Archery was founded in 1931 with the goal of rejoicing. Archery returned to the Olympic Games in 1972 and has remained on the program ever since. During the modern era, the competition format has evolved towards exciting, easily accessible, and broadcast-friendly head-to-head match play. 2 gold medals for the individual events were awarded from 72 to 84 team events and were added in 1988. These mixed team events were added in 2020, bringing the total number of the Olympic champions titles available in the archery competition to 5. 36th National Athletic Meet 1981. Badminton, you can see there's a first day cover. There's already a cover that is posted. It's already posted, used, the stamps have been used stamps and pasted and stamped. It's supposed to be a lot more valuable than even a first day cover. A posted cover is still more valuable. Badminton is a racket sport played using rackets to hit a shuttlecock across a net. Although it may be played with larger teams, the most common form of the game is singles and doubles. Points are scored by striking the shuttlecock with the racket and landing it with the opposite side's horn of the court. Okay, that's badminton. Badminton has been a thing, and India has been very creatively doing good in that line. But anyway, besides the point, that's besides the point. However, this is the 30th National Athletic Meet in 1981. The representative stamp of that event is the badminton stamp, one stamp. Then, of course, table tennis. Last time also we saw table tennis. Table tennis is governed by the Worldwide Organization of International Trade Table Tennis Federation, International ITTF, founded in 1926. ITTF currently includes 226 member associations. The table tennis official rules are specified in the ITTF handbook. Table tennis had been an Olympic since 1988. From 1980 until 2004, these were men's singles, women's singles, men's doubles, and women's doubles. In 2008, a team event has been played instead of the doubles event. We last time spent some time on the table tennis. This is one of the very old Japanese martial arts that you see. Throughout even much later years, 2017, 18, around that, some new, the redesigned the stamps and stamp sheets. At that time also you will see this game. Okay, this is called as Naginata. Naginata is a pole weapon with several varieties of traditionally made Japanese blades. Okay, and then Naginata was originally used by the samurai class of the feudal Japan, as well as by Shigeru, foot soldiers, and Sohei, warrior monks. And Naginata is an iconic weapon of the Onna Bugisha, the type of female warrior belonging to the Japanese nobility. They are the people who are using it. You can see this is something like bent like hockey sticks that they use and then fight it. It's got a hook on the other end. That's what they try to use to catch the opponent's Naginata weapon. Then we have a stamp for the field hockey, 1984, 39th the National Athletic Meet. Field hockey was introduced at the Olympic Games, and then you can see the Japanese field hockey stamp with a Japanese pagoda at the back. And then as a men's competition in 1908 Games in London, that's when first this was introduced as a field hockey in Olympic Games, with 6 teams, 4 from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, other 2 were from France and Germany. During the play, goalkeepers are the only players allowed to touch the ball with any part of their body, while field players can only play the ball with the flat side of the stick. The player's hand is considered a part of the stick if holding the stick. If the ball is played with the rounded part of the stick that is deliberately stopped or hit, it will result in a penalty. Accidentally touches are not an offense, but if they do not materially affect the play. Goalkeepers also cannot play the ball with the backside of the stick. The team that scores the most goals by the end of the match wins. If the score is tied or level at the end of the game, or a draw is there, is declared and the game goes into extra time. If there is a penalty shootout, depending on the format of the competition, and then there are many variations to determine the play. That depends on the league and tournament rules. Depending on that, if there is a draw or level, then they will do the extra time and decide by the penalty stroke or something. They will decide. That's depending on the rules of the game at that time. Now, this is the 50th anniversary of Japan Tokyo Baseball Club, 1984. If you look at this stamp that you have, it's a very beautiful second end and also a pair. At the bottom you have a pair, but if you see vertically they are second end pairs, and also horizontally on the top there are second end pairs. Very beautiful stamps, well designed, and it shows 2 players. One is Eiji Sawamura, who is a pitcher, and then is Eiji Sawamura. He played for Japan in 1917 to 1944. He was a Japanese professional baseball player, a right-handed pitcher. He played in Japan for the Yomiuri Giants. So that's a great honor if somebody gets selected for Yomiuri such a long period. Then the other person is Masaru Kageura. He played between July 20th, 1915 to May 20th, 1945. Was a Japanese baseball player from Matsuyama, Ehime. That's a beautiful place. An accomplished 2-way player. Kageura is one of the 2 players, like Eiji Sawamura being the other. That's why they both are also shown in the stamp, and are one of the 2 players who was included in the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame. And after being killed in the World War II, he was killed during the World War II. He got into the Hall of Fame for his game, not for being killed in World War. Apart from that, he is a very good as a hitter. So they have put him and the pitchers Eiji Sawamura in the Hall of Fame for baseball. Now, this is a thing. It's an information sheet that's given in the Japanese post office. It talks about when a stamp is released on the day. If you go, you get this information sheet free. What people do is they get the first day stamp, put it there. There'll be a stamp kept in the table there. Then go and put a cancellation stamp on your thing. They keep it with them. Some of them also sell it. Now, what has been written there, I just enlarged it, put it here. Professional baseball, Japan first started in 1920s, but it was not until Greater Japan Tokyo Baseball Club, Dai Nippon Tokyo Yakkyu Kurabu, was established 1934 that the modern professional game had continued success. The club established Golden Jubilee in 1984. That's why the bottom stamp is there that you see with the baseball. That is for the 50th anniversary day. 40th National Athletic Meet, 1985. It's a handball. At the Summer Olympics referred to two different sports. One is field handball, was introduced for men in 1936 Summer Olympics. Okay, and then dropped after that. And this was introduced in the Summer Olympics in Berlin. And at the 1952 Olympics, field handball was a demonstration sport. Indoor handball was introduced for men in 1972 Summer Olympics in Munich, and women's handball competition was introduced 1976 Olympics in Montreal. Now, handball tournaments at the 2020 Summer Olympics took place from 24. Okay, the handball tournaments of the 2020 Summer Olympics took place from 24 July to 8 August 2021 at the Yoyogi National Gymnasium in Tokyo. It was originally scheduled to be held in 2020, but on March 2020, Olympics were postponed to 2021. We all know about that. But the COVID pandemic meant there was no spectators was permitted when it was held in 2021. Then we have the 41st National Athletic Meet, 1986. Here, 40 yen postage stamp was issued on October 9, 1986 to commemorate the 41st National Athletic Meet. The National Athletic Meet was first held in 1946 to diffuse various sports among the people, heighten their amateurism and sportsmanship, and improve their health and physical strength. It has since been held every year in different parts of Japan, sponsored by federal government in turn. The 41st Autumn National Athletic Meet is to be held for 6 days from October 12 to 17 on sports grounds in Kofu City and 39 other municipalities in Yamanashi Prefecture. At this meet, which is named as Kaiji Kakutai, Kaiji Athletic Meet, a total of 21,000 players, athletes, and officials who gather from all over the country participate in healthy, contested games, living up to the motto adopted the meet, develop a circle of friendship. Almost every National Athletic Meet, they had a slogan to go with that meet. This is the slogan. What I've given here is what is there in that sheet. That information sheet, it is too small, so I just enlarged it and put it there. It's a gymnastic picture, and at the background you can see, you see the Mount Fuji, very beautiful Mount Fuji is there. Her posture matching the slope of Fujisan. Then we have the Summer University Games in Kobe. If you look at this, there is again an information sheet, but it is too small. So I've just the university games that is played in Kobe. So this is called University Side 1985 Kobe, Japan. A 60 yen postage stamp was issued on August 24, 1985 to commemorate the Universidad Kobe meet. The Universide meet is a comprehensive sports meet for university students and sponsored by the Federation of International Sports University, FISU. It is commonly known as Student Olympics, and it is held every other year for the purpose of contributing to the world peace and deepening the friendship through participation in world's youth and supporting activities. The Universiade was first held in Japan in 1967 in Tokyo. This year's meet is held in Kobe and the second time for Japan. And an outline of this university game is given below. Organizing body is the Organizing Committee of the Universiade, 1985 in Kobe. Period August 24th to September 4th, 1985. Competing events, 10 categories, including pooled event swimming. Number of participating countries, 100. Number of participants, 5,000. Kobe National Sports Stadium is where it is going to be held. Now, and other 18 locations in Kobe. Now we have basketball. Very interestingly, there is a very famous Japanese player called Yuta Watanabe. The thing is, he came from this youth national athletic meet, which is for the people of Japan. There he got noticed. He went and played up to NFL. So now, if you see Yu Watanabe, is a Japanese professional basketball player who last played for the Toronto Raptors of the National Basketball Association, NBA. He played college basketball in the United States for the George Washington Colonials, becoming the first Japanese-born student athlete to secure an NCAA Division basketball scholarship. Watanabe rose to fame in his high school program and was one of the most valuable players for the National Preparatory School Invitational as a senior in 2014. In college, he became the youth Japanese-born divisional basketball player of all time. So basketball can take you to great heights, and a country like the US, where he had the opportunity to play, is very well regarded. Then we have the 43rd National Athletic Meet in 1988. A parallel bar with golden pavilion at the background. You can see the Japanese Kinkakuji, the golden pavilion at the back, and the parallel bar in the foreground. Parallel bars are floor apparatus consisting of two wooden bars slightly over 11 feet, 340 centimeters long, and positioned at roughly handheld. Parallel bars are used in artistic, gymnastic, and also for physical therapy and home exercises. Gymnasts may optionally wear grips when performing a routine on parallel balls, although that is uncommon. Now, if you look at the stamp, very beautifully made stamp, and then this is released 1988, October 14th, and this about parallel bars. You can see how straight the guy's legs up to the toe from the thigh, and the whole thing is balanced by its muscles in the arm. It's very beautifully brought out stamp. Then we have the 44th National Athletic Meet in Hokkaido in 1989. That's a sprint again that been selected for the stamp, and every prefecture has got a native flower of their thing. Maybe it's a Hokkaido flower. Hokkaido is also very famous for its cherry blossom, so Hokkaido flower. But in most of the slogans, they have most of the athletic championships. They made their own slogan. Now it says, you be the wind of the northern lands. Okay, so Kitano what you call Fuyu Tonare. So you should become like, because Hokkaido is the northernmost island of Japan. So you become the wind, like the wind. You should run fast. So that's what the slogan. You now be the wind of the northern lands. That's what it said. And the sprinters, every muscle, everything that's in action has been very well brought out in the stamp. Though the stamp is small, unfortunately, if you enlarge and see, you can see the beauty of this design of this stamp. And then Far East South Pacific Games were disabled 1989. This is slightly coming away from the regular thing. The Far East and South Pacific Games, the disabled of FESP games have been held irregularly since 1975. The FESP and Asian Games had adopted the strategy used by the Olympic and Paralympic Games for having both games in the same city. The games were held in Japan 1975 at the Oita. Oita is down south in Kyushu, and in 1989 at Kobe. A stamp was brought out in 14 September 1989 for this event. It's a para thing. People who are physically challenged. They are trying to overcome all the challenges and show that they also have the motivation and the courage to participate. They also is a winner in all of them. Is what they are trying to show. The 1989 September 14 stamp beautifully brings out this. The lines and the thing is very nice. And then the second Asian Winter Games, 1990. Ice hockey is what you can see they're playing. 1990 March 1st. Okay, it's a multicolor stamp, 28 by 37 millimeters. The ice hockey is a contact winter team sport played on the ice skates, usually on an ice skating rink with lines and making specific to the sport. In ice hockey, two opposing teams use ice hockey sticks to control, advance, and shoot up into a closed goal. A vulcanized rubber disc called the puck into the other team's goal. Each goal is worth 1 point. The team which scores the maximum goals is declared the winner. In the formal game, each team has got 6 skaters on the ice at a time, barring any penalties, one of whom is the goaltender. Then, World Cycling Championship, 45th National Athletic Championship. I've just put them together. If you see, the first stamp is a cycling stamp. The first professional World Cycling Championship took place in 1927 in Nuremberg in Germany and was won by Alfredo Binda of Italy. It is organized by the Union Cyclists International UCI, and the winner has the right to wear the rainbow jersey for a full year. 1990, Japan hosted this event at Utsunomiya, Tochigi Prefecture, and the commemorative stamp was brought on the 20th of August 1990. The stamp was brought. Again, 37 by 28 millimeter, standard size, no watermark, and it's a commemorative stamp. And on this side, you can see another event, 1990, same this thing is another event where the guy is jumping across, and then we have another jumper, shot putter, sports scientists and coaches, along with most of the athletic federations, the world have recognized the importance of scientific support in the improvement of athletics performance. Although there was a biomechanics group in Japan, Amateur Athletic Federation, JAAF, before 1990, the activities were very sporadic, not as systematic as they were now. At the third IAAF World Championship of Athletics held in Tokyo in 1991 gave us a great opportunity to reorganize the JAAF biomechanics group into a very active research group. 2 stamps were released for this event on 23rd August of 1991. Okay. And then both the stamps were released on the same day August 23rd, 1991, with the HR 28 by 37 millimeters, commemorative, and printed by photogravure, and 62 yen stamp, one stamp, and the one is 41 yen. Now, this is again a first day card that you see, and the information sheet is what you see here. And then there are two first day cards in which the two jumpers are going over the pole is what is given. Now, 1992, it is stated with the individuals returning from hunting and fishing, raids and war expeditions. Okay, that's where this is started. As an organized sport, canoeing began in the second half of the 19th century in local and national operations in Great Britain and North America, many of which persist. The sport became progressively more popular in Europe in the 20th century, so that with almost canoeing events for men and Olympic in the Olympic Games from 1936 and for women from 1948. Most Olympic winners were European, with the Soviet Union, Eastern European nations predominating after the World War. This is the beautiful stamp, and also a first day card, that's a postal card that is there. Somebody who has attended the thing, they'll get a stamp and then send it. In 1992, the stamp release. Then we have the 10th World Athletic Championship for seniors. This is people who are retired, people who are old, but many of them are still active. They need to be motivated, and they should set it. They will be an example for many other youngsters. So annually they have a World Athletics Championship for seniors, and the 10th championship was held in Miyazaki in Japan in 1993. Okay, what is this thing? The 1993 World Masters Athletic Championship. That's what it is called as. The seniors championship was called. And then they were called World Veterans Championship at that time. That took place in Miyazaki, Japan from 7th to 17th October 1943. The main venue was Miyazaki Athletic Stadium, located with the Miyazaki Prefectural Sports Park. The governing body of this series of World Veteran Athletics, WAVA. WAVA was formed during the meeting at the inaugural edition of this series at Toronto 1975, then officially founded during the second edition 1977, then renamed as World Masters Athletics WMA at Brisbane Championships in 2001. The 11,470 participants reported for WMA may actually be over 12,000, more than doubling the previous heights of 4,800 for the previous three editions of this. That's nearly 12,000 people attended the 10th seniors. 12,000, more than doubling the previous heights of 4,800 for the previous three editions of this. That's nearly 12,000 people attended the 10th seniors